discover China. The Shidi village is resting in the mountains of Huizhou in southern Anhui province. A popular tourist destination, the village enjoys scenic landscapes and a favorable climate. In the early morning hours, the golden rising sun shines warmly on the tall horsehead walls, bringing warmth to the homes. Not long after, however, a strange phenomenon is revealed. There is not a single pedestrian walking the small lanes. The schools are all empty and silent. Where had the villagers gone? What event could empty the entire village? Suddenly, remote but crisp sounds of gongs and drums echo in the empty streets. Following the sounds, crossing the streets and lanes, the sounds lead to a building called Juimu Tang, the Hall of Reminiscence. From the crack of dawn, the villagers are all gathered here to attend the grand ancestral worship ceremony. The mood is solemn and serious. Each villager pays devout homage to the portrait of their ancestor. In traditional Chinese culture, ancestral worship is when descendants pay homage to commemorate their ancestors. A clan's descendants are only people with bloodline ties to their lineage. A family's prosperity not only lies in its class or assets, but also in the number of descendants and its historical background. All generations place great value in this clan concept. Past, people in Huizhou believe their ancestors' souls rested in these ancestral halls. The more magnificent the hall, the happier the ancestors, the more honorable their descendants would be. Most people in the village are descendants of the Hu clan. Each year in early January, the entire village attends the grand worship ceremony, presided over by the clan patriarch. Shidi village is the home of the Hu clan. Embraced by mountains and waters, it is an ideal place to live. The gray and white village homes, seen from afar, resemble a Chinese landscape painting. The village has many unique ancient buildings. Ravaged by the tumult of China's history and nature's relentless forces, over half of these ancient homes, ancestral halls, schools, and monumental archways have been severely damaged. Some of these ancient homes, however, are well preserved. The Shidi villagers call themselves residents of a Chinese painting come to life. They have been living in these ancient buildings for generations. After the memorial ceremony, the village's desolate streets are refilled with activity. The villagers return to their normal daily routines. In this Hu clan-dominated village, most of the people have familial ties. Living far from the noisy, bustling cities, their comfortable, uninterrupted lives have been going on much as they have been for centuries. Even today, some of their customs are endowed with their ancestral heritage. Many of their day-to-day tools are simple but elegant. These villagers take great pleasure in their simple ways of life. Shidi is a small and delicate village. Back in Juemutang, the exquisite furniture is a sign of the Hu clan's wealth and opulence. Huizhou-style architecture is renowned for its intricate stone, brick, and wood carvings, all of which can be found in the hall. Eroded by centuries of rain, wind, and sun, the doors and windows seem to be carved with the teeth of time itself. One statue is particularly noticeable. It depicts an emperor, peaceful and serene. Historically, statues of this theme belong to the royal families only. Were it to be discovered that commoners or even court officials possess such statues, the entire family would be executed. How did the Hu family come into possession of such a statue? Were they somehow linked to the Imperial family? In Chinese history, no royal family surnamed Hu hailed from Huizhou. Does this statue mean that the Hu clan was somehow related to the royal family before moving to Huizhou? According to historical records, the earliest date the Hu clan moved to Huizhou was in 318 BC. Over the years, the Hu family quickly became one of Huizhou's largest families. Its descendants were present in all walks of life. It is possible that a Hu clan descendant once worked for the royal court. He probably rendered important meritorious services and thus bestowed with a royal title. If so, it would be reasonable for the family to possess a statue indicative of royal power. Does the Hu clan have such an honorable ancestor? Upon closer inspection of the clan's pedigree, the family's 18th generation descendant Hu Wenguang was the most detailed. In 1565 AD, during the Ming Dynasty, Hu Wenguang was assigned to a post in Jiaozhou City in Shandong Province in eastern China. He was loyal to the court and as a result earned his family name a good reputation. In 1578 AD, an archway called Enrong was constructed to commemorate him. Built in 1578 AD at the entrance to the Shidi village, the arch covers 100 square meters. It is 12.3 meters tall and nearly 10 meters wide. It is supported by 4 stone pillars 60 centimeters in diameter and engraved with delicate floral patterns. Each pillar had 4 joints at its foundation. The 2 middle pillars are decorated with 2 pairs of vivid stone lions 2.5 meters tall. The characters on the lower stone board read Jiaozhou's senior official on the east side and Hubei and Hunan provinces' prime minister on the west. The upper stone board carvings reads Enrong, meaning grace and honor. Beautiful and vivid patterns symbolizing good fortune and power are carved all over the gateway. During ancient times, the memorial archway represented honor and status. The size and locale of this arch indicated Hu Wenguang's status in Shidi village. But was this enough to earn him a royal title? Who did bring royal titles to this small village? According to the Hu clan pedigree, Hu Shiliang was the first to move to Shidi. In 1077 AD, while traveling for business, Hu Shiliang was on his way to Jinling City in southeast China when he passed by the pastoral locale. He decided to settle there. The Hu family heritage has been there for more than 900 years. Yet there are no historic records showing any descendants of the Hu family's claims of royalty. Grand memorial ceremony was in memory of Hu Shiliang. Was he related to the royal families? Historic records regarding Huizhou do not provide any related stories. The clue seems to be lost. At the day's end, the setting sun's dazzling colors seem to be carrying with them the secrets of the ancient clan. Two days later, at Shidi village, the streets were once again empty. At Juimu Hall, a ceremony similar to the previous ceremony is taking place. All the villagers are in attendance. Yet this time, their ceremony was in memory of another ancestor, Hu Changyi. According to one villager, these ceremonies date back several centuries, presided over by the patriarch of the clan. What did these ceremonies look like all those years ago? Each year in early January, 3 ceremonies are held in the village. The first is held to commemorate Hu Sangong, Hu Changyi's father. 2 days later, a ceremony is held to commemorate Hu Shiliang, the first family member that settled in Shidi. The last ceremony held is in memory of Hu Changyi, the earliest ancestor of the clan. In 904 AD, during the late Tang Dynasty, Hu Changyi was born in a period of transformation. According to historic records, Hu Changyi was Emperor Zhaozong's son. That same year, Zhu Wen, a senior royal court official, intended to seize the throne and exiled the emperor to Luoyang in central China. Knowing his fate was fraught with grim prospects, he gave his newly born son to a man called Hu Sangong. The baby was Hu Changyi. With the emperor's demise, the Tang Dynasty ended, yet Hu Changyi survived. Since he was young, his foster father would often tell him stories of the Tang Dynasty. When he began learning how to write, his father first taught him how to write Hu and Li, the royal family surname. To protect the only surviving member of the royal family, Hu Sangong raised his son to become a scholar. As Hu Changyi grew older, he learned about his true lineage. He chose not to challenge the current political world and immersed himself in Chinese literature and philosophy. He wrote several books on Chinese philosophy and on the Book of Changes. He was dubbed Mingjing Weng, the Chinese philosophy expert. Thus, the clan's moniker since became Mingjing Hu. Hu Chang'e is regarded as the Hu clan's earliest ancestor in Shidi village. Staying away from wars and politics, the Hu clan developed and prospered. From all this information, it would suffice to say that Shidi village bared witness to the lives of the fallen royal family. Observing the village's surroundings, the first buildings in Shidi were not notable. The typical construction style is found in many places in Huizhou. Since the Tang Dynasty, China's Central Plain suffered continuous wars. Many noble and royal families fled to the south. These refugees were educated and literate. As time passed, the unique construction style known as Huizhou style gradually began to take shape. Surrounded by mountains and well off the beaten path, Huizhou, with its gorgeous climate and natural landscapes, became an ideal place to stay removed from the chaos of war. Many noble and royal descendants chose to settle in Huizhou. They brought with them huge sums of money and property. Having survived the ordeals of war, they wished to remain uninvolved. They strived to lead peaceful, simple, and harmonious lives. Over time, this fast-developing society became the small Hu clan village, a Chinese painting come to life.